Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Liz and this is Let's Get Lizical, where we do everything card making. And today is day 4 of our holiday card challenge. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I got this Slay Everyday die with the surprise pack I got from Simon last year. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it because I'm not very much into doing like encouraging cards or whatever. But I thought it would be like a fun play on words for a Christmas card. So we're gonna pair this with some Santas and some reindeer, and I'm gonna show you a trick for lining up this die because it's a bit of a pain in the butt. It was extremely hard to get out of the shadow layer as well, just because it was so tight and there were so many connections. I feel like dies like this should only have like 2 connections where you can just twist the middle out, but that's just me. And what I did was I kind of came up with a technique. I don't know if anybody's ever done this before, but this is just something new to me anyway, by accident. So I had a layer that didn't cut out quite well. It wasn't this one, it was a different one. And then I was like, oh, I can actually like use this to lay out my images and then just kind of transfer them. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But this is just one that I embossed as a template to keep. And then what you do is you use like a temporary adhesive. I just put a little bit on each letter, then lay the letters down because I've tried doing it a few different ways. This is the one I did using that technique and it laid out pretty well. I tried another technique where I cut out a bunch of them and then just kept like the outer layer. So I cut out the inside and the shadow layer together to get like this frame. And I think I have a few other ones that I did. I did one of them off screen. So this is the one I did for the reindeer. I think this might be the one that I used this technique for, but you can still see that like some of the letters didn't line up exactly. Like there's some gaps here there's not supposed to be. And then I tried a different method where I lined up, you know, like just the word day at the bottom and then I worked up from there, because of the way that the pieces fit together. But again, that one also didn't like lay out 100%. Like there's a bit of a gap on this one. It's not enough for me to like care that much, but at the same time I like it. This die is very hard to lay out. I would like to actually cut these in black, glue them onto a piece of paper, put it into my scan and cut, and create its own back layer of all of these pieces together so that when I want to do this, it's a lot quicker. But if you don't have a scan and cut, that's difficult to do. So I think that this technique, for anybody who doesn't have a scan and cut where they can do that technique, this is what works best. So I'm going to show you how I did this. Most of my images I already have like pre-colored ones that I did a long time ago. So we're just going to use these. That's what I did with the reindeer one as well. And I even painstakingly colored in around the antler and around this foot and matched it with the plaid, which was a bit ambitious, but it somewhat works. The colors aren't exact, but it still kind of blends in enough for me to be okay, that's fine. But it's super cute. I like it, and it's a nice play on words. Again, if like you have a Santa set with a sleigh or something, I think the Mama Elephant set does have a sleigh. Yeah, so you could like you put the Santa on it instead. I think I used him on another card, which is why I don't have him pre-colored now, but so yeah. Anyway, we'll move over to voiceover and I will kind of show you what I mean by what I'm saying. So I'll be right back. Okay, so voiceover Liz here. This video is not going to be too long today, because I did a lot of this off the screen. Like I said, I colored all the images. I don't even know how long ago I did it, probably like a year ago, 2 years ago maybe. I stamped out in the entire set and then just colored them all just so I had some ready. This is more so for this technique that I may or may not have come up with. I have no clue. I've not seen anybody do this before, but it does work really great. For this, because I'm going to be using press and seal to pick up the image, I decided to do a layer of just like plain white cardstock first, because I did rip the one card a little bit. Took a little bit of the layer off, which you'll see here in a second when I bring out that same piece of press and seal. Probably because I like pressed it so well that it just stuck a little bit too hard, but I just wanted to make sure that I'm definitely picking up all of the letters, that they don't shift, and the press and seal does like a really good job for that. If you have low tack tape, you could use that as well. This is a little bit easier because it's see-through, so you can kind of see where you're placing your images. I find sometimes with tape it covers the edges, so you're a little bit covered there, and then it's a little bit harder to place. This, because I use liquid glue on a foiled cardstock as well, it was a little bit easier to slide around into the perfect positioning. And then I'm just making sure that it's stuck well before I try to take the press and seal off. And I'm just kind of cleaning up my template here, and then very, very carefully pulling that press and seal slowly and on to itself, basically. And then I'm going to use these other colors that I cut out to layer on top. It's actually kind of better doing it this way too, because it adds a little bit of dimension, and then you get the height of the two layers of cardstock, and it works out really well. For these, I tried to make sure that the colors were spaced out enough that they weren't like touching each other, kind of like they were on the plaid version. If you're doing two colors, it's harder to make sure that none of them line up, just because it is like inlaid, like where it's in between the letters above. So if you did red, green, then you would have to do like green, red or something for the next row, and then this green that we used on the V, say like the L on the sleigh, was also great. Kind of, again, like the plaid ones that I did, it just kind of like makes the letters blend a bit better. So I would recommend using 3 to 4 different colors. If you use 4, there's exactly 12 letters in the set, so you would get 3 of each, and then you can kind of lay them out a bit better. But I think the way that I did this, where they were like somewhat spaced enough apart, works. And it looks really good. I am propping them up on some foam tape just so I can tuck the characters behind. I did end up doing 4 of these cards because I had 2 of the plaid ones, 2 of the other ones, and technically you could make 3 because I cut 3 colors out of this, but I didn't want to do too many of this card. And then I ran out of images anyway, so I just decided to throw out the 3rd set of letters that I had. And I'm decorating it like just very simply. This one will have just like 3 Santas on it. The one plaid one I did had like 5 reindeer on it. Like, so I would say 3 to 5 images. You could also, again, use a Santa stamp set with the sleigh and like create a scene behind this, like put some snow hills in the background, and then just like create a mini scene underneath, and then like move this up a bit. I decided to put them in the center for 3 of the cards I did, and then the 4th one I did it in a landscape layout instead of a portrait layout, and then I kind of kept everything to the right side of the card for the most part. If you follow me over on Instagram or Facebook, I will post those tomorrow so that you get to see the other cards as well. But yeah, that's pretty much our card for today, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe because I'd love to have you here. We have lots of fun content to do and lots more coming. And again, make sure you're subscribed to my Instagram and or Facebook so that you get that additional content that I show in between days. I didn't last week so much, but I will do it this week for sure and going forward. But anyway, I'll be back again on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, thanks guys. Bye.